Hey everybody, it is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Diddy and Gina, one of his ex-girlfriends. The other day, she wrote a letter to the judge in his case, asking or saying to the judge pretty much, you know what, let Diddy out on bond. He's a changed man. She said towards the end of their relationship, he became very loving, very friendly. He's a family man, and she never known him to be a criminal. Well, Diddy, just like the prosecution, got letters to speak, on why he should remain in jail. It was smart for him to get letters from people that say, listen, set him free. Because you got to have a balance there, right? So, was Gina necessarily the right person? I'm not sure. One thing about the internet is relentless. The internet does not forget. And so, what did the internet do? They pulled up her interview from Tasha K when she was on there talking about how Diddy stomped out her stomach. So now, even though the judge has that letter from Gina, does he bring up the interview she did in the past? Or do we understand that people can change? Maybe I was this way in 2010, 2009, 2016, but it is now 2025. Can I be different? Will the world allow me to be different and say that I have changed? And some of you, or maybe the judge, might say, well, he's such a changed man, but in 2024, he had a DV situation with Jane Doe. I don't know how this thing is going to go for Diddy, but let me share a screen so we can get into this story. So Sean Diddy Combs ex makes surprising plea to judge after claiming rapper stomped on her stomach. Now, granted, this was years ago, but the past comes back to haunt you sometime. So Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Virginia Gina Huynh made a plea endorsing the rapper's appeal on bail. Court documents filed by Combs' legal team and obtained by Page Six Sunday included a letter written by Gina to the judge, to Judge Aron Subramanian, in support of the disgraced music mogul's release prior to his October 3rd sentencing. To my knowledge, Combs has not been violent for many years, and he has committed to being a father first, claimed Gina, who was identified as victim 3 in the prosecution's indictment. That was done Better Times there. That's a picture of those two together. She's a beautiful girl. One thing you can say about Diddy, he loved his pretty woman, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Listen, my hope for all of these young ladies that found themselves in the Diddy orbit during dark times. And the reason why I'm saying dark times, because Diddy himself said it. I think it was his BET speech when he won the award for, I think it was the entertainer of the year, whatever award he won. And he got up there and he thanked Cassie for the dark times. And then he said, love. I can't play it because they're going to ding me, but go back and Google it. That's exactly what he said. So for all of those young ladies that were in Diddy's world during those dark times, I pray that they found peace and they find love and they find happiness. She's gorgeous. So our relationship, like many, was not always perfect. We experienced ups and downs and mistakes were made, she admitted, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. She claimed that Combs made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm he had caused over the years. According to Gina, the Bad Boy Records founder, now 55, embodied an energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from his past behavior by the time they broke up. I'm writing because I do not view Mr. Combs as a danger to me or the community, she continued. Those two again, I guess during better times or dark times, I don't know. There she is again. Pretty girl. This is the first criminal case, Gina further argued, claiming that Combs has been cooperative and respectful and compliant. Now, this I will give to her 100%. And I don't care what anybody say. He was cooperative, because when he knew they was looking to follow through and finally arrest him, His lawyer brought him to New York. He came to New York preparing for his arrest. So that whole flight risk thing, I think it was a joke from the beginning, and it's a joke to this very moment. I think they're just putting 20 on 10 when it comes to that flight risk. Because yes, he was cooperative. Yes, he's been respectful. Because even though that judge denied everything, every time he asked, he told the judge, thank you, and told the judge he did a good job. And he's been compliant. Did he break out of jail? No. Did he try to break out of jail? No. And in addition to that, although it was that time where they said he had burner phones, this, that, the other, I'm not one to say do as they do, but he was doing as the rest of them doing at jail. And how did he get a burner phone? So that would mean that some of your COs, okay, had to be breaking the law too. Well, we'll continue. Throughout the investigation and court proceedings, he has substantial ties to his family and community, including children who depend on him for emotional and financial support, she added. I want to assure the court that if released, I believe, and we can never tell what a person would or would not do, I believe Mr. Combs will adhere to all conditions imposed and will not jeopardize his freedom or well-being of his family. Now, and see, I don't think he will intentionally jeopardize his freedom or well-being of his family. But one thing about substances, they call your name. And when that beast of a drug calls your name, a lot of people fell prey and they answer, especially if they was addicted to it prior. So I do pray that if he gets out, that he stays in and goes to and stays in extensive therapy for his multiple addictions. Reps and attorneys for Combs had no additional comment when contacted by Page Six. And I will say this too. I feel like also he would need to kind of get rid of everything that points back to his old life, so to speak. Gina never testified in Combs' federal trial, despite being a key witness for the prosecution. However, the rapper's former assistant, George Kaplan, said under oath that he once saw an angry Combs throwing apples at Gina as she tried to protect herself. Meanwhile, Gina previously accused the hip-hop producer of abuse in a 2019 interview with controversial blogger Tasha K. At the time, she recalled an alleged incident during their 5-year relationship. I didn't know they was together that long. Claiming Combs stomped on her stomach really hard and took the wind out of her breath. Oh, gosh. To anybody that finds themselves in a tumultuous relationship, I pray for them too, whether you with a celebrity or non-celebrity, that, you seek help and you get out. I was heard during her Tasha K interview. I couldn't breathe. He kept hitting me. I was pleading to him, can you just stop? I can't breathe, Gina claimed. She said her relationship with Combs began amid his on-again, off-again romance with Cassandra Cassie Ventura, who testified as the prosecution's star witness in the trial. Now, you know what's interesting here is she said their relationship began when him and Cassie was on and off, but Cassie, allegedly couldn't leave. She was coerced and she was forced, but yet they had an on-again, off-again relationship. I ain't going to backtrack into that. Just catch what I'm saying right there. He was mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me. He will always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one. She's the good one, Gina alleged. She also claimed that everyone around Combs allowed the alleged abuse. And this is probably why the prosecution wanted her really bad, because they probably would have, during the trial, referred back to all the words that she said in that interview. Last month, Combs was found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in P. He faces up to 20 years in prison. And that number, depending upon what article you read, is different. I thought the highest he could get on each count was 5 years. I don't know. This judge, even though I say the judge is biased, and I truly believe he is, he still has a tough job ahead of him. He was acquitted of more serious charges as trafficking and racketeering after being accused by the government of using force, threats of force, and coercion to compel at least 3 victims to engage in commercial sex acts. And the 3 victims was Cassie It was Gina who never showed up and Jane Doe who was there. Combs has denied the allegations, was previously denied bail after the verdict in July, with Judge Summeranian citing a disregard for the rule of law and a propensity of violence in his ruling. Listen, people. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on, if you ever saw that interview with Gina on Tasha K? What are your thoughts on her now just, I guess, being in a place of total forgiveness and writing this letter to the judge? And now they're kind of digging up and grudging up, the stuff that she said in this interview. I do believe people can change, but I think change requires work. And so did he put in the work, the real work to change himself? And does this 2024 incident with Jane Doe means that he didn't put in the work, or means that maybe he did put in the work, but because Jane Doe herself admitted she kind of started that incident, maybe because Jane Doe started it, he had to protect himself. And it is not, showing that he's still a violent person. It's just showing that, what, if somebody comes and hits me, I got to protect myself. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this story. Chat with me. I'll chat back, and I'll see you in the next video.